Asalmualaikum. Today's name is Al-Jabbar. The first meaning of this name is the compeller. So he is the one that can compel everything to his divine will, but no one and nothing can compel him. Right? And this just sort of demonstrates his majesty and his strength over his creation and his servants. But the thing to keep in mind is that unlike human beings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is never oppressive in his compulsion. So when we as people, when we have the authority or the power to compel someone to do something, we actually tend to be a little bit abusive with that power. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like that. Everything that he compels is fair and it's just and it's merciful. And so when we need to change our circumstances, right? People can only do so much for you. The one that you should turn to is Al-Jabbar. You should reach out to Al-Jabbar because he's the only one that actually has the strength and the ability to compel and change events to turn in your favor. The second meaning is the one who mends the broken, which is such a beautiful meaning behind this name. And just to sort of create a visual for you. So if you think of a splint, like a splint when you break your bone, right? Splint in Arabic, the word for it is jubira. And jubira is from the same root word as jabbar. And so if you think about it, a splint almost compels a bone, because it holds it in place, compels the bone to heal in the right way and helps make it whole again. So in the same fashion, when we get hurt or people break our hearts, whether it's, through hurtful words or sometimes we experience things like maybe we lose somebody and that causes emotional distress, the one who can heal our hearts is Al-Jabbar, and he's the one that we turn to. And a good depiction of this story is when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was going through the saddest year of his life. He had lost Khadija radiallahu anha, his wife, and he had lost Abu Talib, his uncle. And these were two of his biggest supporters when he was in Mecca. And he went to Ta'if to preach. And unfortunately, he was stoned and he was mocked and ridiculed by the people. And he was kicked out of the city. And he was outside of the city and his feet were bleeding and he was crying. And he made a very powerful dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him this little boy who offered him grapes and offered him comfort. And then after that, shortly after, the journey of Isra and Mi'raj happened. And this was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's way of comforting him, and both emotionally and spiritually, for the pain and the heartbreak that he had went through. And so sometimes Allah will send us people or send us experiences to help mend our broken hearts. So how do we apply this name in our lives? The very first thing is we should be very careful not to break people, especially people that are weaker than us or people that we have authority over. But overall, generally speaking, be very careful not to break or hurt people. And you should worry about this because you never know if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might manifest his own force over us due to the harm we've caused people. So we have to be very, very careful with how we treat people. So if you did hurt someone or you broke someone's heart in any way, seek out that person, right? Try to seek forgiveness from them, and then also seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we should also be there for people that are broken, whether it's, somebody who's going through something difficult and you're just there as a shoulder to cry on, or if you're helping them financially, or whatever the case may be. However you can help a broken person, be there for them, be with people during their times of need. And then when you are broken, turn to Al-Jabbar, turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go to God when you are broken. And turn to the one who can mend the broken. This is literally his name. He's the one who mends the broken. He's the only one that can console your heart. And there's a very beautiful dua that you can actually make between sujoods when you're praying. So between the first sujood and second sujood. Allahumma ighfirli warhamni wahdini wajburni wa'afni warzuqni. And what this really means is, Allah, please forgive me, have mercy on me, guide me, console me, grant me well-being, and provide for me. And so this is just an encompassing dua that has a lot of requests and seeking comfort and consolation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so that is the meaning of Al-Jabbar. Jazakallahu khair, and I'll see you next time.